Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 tournament race. We have a exciting matchup of our top 8, our quarterfinals, between WeightyWords and Doomtap. This is game 1, so you'll be seeing a normal 7-7, 7 crystals, open mode between these two players. My name is Willard J. Bradley, and I'm joined by my good friend Mikan. Hello, bud. How you doing?
How you doing? How's everyone doing?
Everyone's
looking forward to watching Zelda, which I haven't actually done a lot recently, but it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It should be fun. This should be a good match. We got two really good players coming at you. They've worked their way up through the ranks to make it all the way up in the top 8, and at this point, you know, we've been saying it for a while that it's pretty much anyone's game at this point. Anyone in the top 64 could take this tournament, anyone top 32, so of course we're going to say the exact same thing in top 8. How did these players get here, though, is the real question, because they've had to go through some heavy hitters along the way here, I'd say.
I haven't been paying attention much to the tournament stats at all, Willard.
You shouldn't say that. That's not good.
No, I'm putting you on the spot because I know you have. I'm giving you a chance to show, you know, your skill in that department.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for passing the. Well, both players coming from a exciting game 3 in both of their matches. WeightyWords taking out Big Dunka to make it a top 8, while Doomtap took out Banta in an exciting. Both players going to game 3 to get here. So, you know, at this point, we should be seeing more game 3s, I feel like, because a lot of these players are going to be more evenly matched. Of course, we're talking about Randomizer here. And as you all know, in randomizers, it's not always who's, you know, the best executor, the best skilled player, the best router, the most efficient router. Sometimes it can come down to a coin flip. Oftentimes it does come down to a coin flip, but we've seen matches that have been, you know, 2-minute difference, 5-second difference. We've seen a couple ties this tournament. We've also seen some 20-minute differences, even in brackets. So literally anything can happen. WeightyWords could delete his file. That could happen too.
It could happen. It's just a coin flip. You never know.
It's just a coin flip.
He either does it or he doesn't.
Dude, those are the best 50-50s. It either happens or it doesn't. I love it. Yeah. You all know, I feel like most of you would know WeightyWords pretty well. He was the winner of the Speed Gaming Live tournament that happened back in October. I still have a bone to pick with him because he was the one that knocked me out of the tournament. So,
oh dang.
Well,
so I know your favoritism this match going in.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah. And we're off anyway.
Yeah, we are off.
Really quick map check. Was that 3 crystals? 3 normal crystals in the light world.
3 baby blue crystals in the light world here. We had the cape in the sanctuary, so already one would start to consider the potential AGA required, or, you know, possibility. Usually whenever you think of cape, you always think of getting through that barrier to get into Aghanim's tower. But of course, we have literally just started, so there's plenty of possibilities left.
I'm pretty sure it's 100% chance now. It's a pretty good tier 1 tree pull. Blue rupees. Could be a lot worse than that. Gonna easily have enough to get... Oh, well, okay, the bush crab is kind of one up. Bush crab
dropping 20s, yeah. So all of a sudden we got plenty of money coming in here. WeightyWords pulling out the moon pearl from his dead uncle. Thanks, pal. I'm gonna need that to save you later. So already we got some good items to start. Anything at the lumberjack, just a piece of heart. You just saw the tip of it over on Doomtap's side. So good information right there. No, you don't have to complete Aga Tower to get an item, but still might have to do it just to get to the Dark World.
Yeah, getting all this cash before Kekri is nice because you can buy those bombs to get all those extra checks without having to farm, you know, hope for bombs beforehand or hope for anything lucky like that. And potentially, you know, if it comes down to, say, Zora or something like that, it would actually be fairly easy to get enough cash to do that. They'll be able to route that in almost however they want.
Yeah, because there's also another bush crab on the way to Mini Moldrum Cave, so getting another chunk of rupees. We do have the powder here in the Lost Woods. Wowzers. Another nice find.
Somewhat almost vanilla? Not really.
Kind ish.
It's
It goes in the same
It's
slot
fermented.
in the inventory, right?
it's fermented over time, so it's just kind of it brewed itself.
It brewed itself.
Yeah, the mushroom.
Yeah.
You know, you take the
Did they really brew a mushroom, or did they just smash it into little
Well,
pieces?
You give it to
What
the
are those?
witch.
What are those
and
things
she's
called?
The witch
What are
is
those
stirring
things
the
called?
pot, right?
Well,
The cauldron?
no, not a cauldron. It's the little thing where people like mash herbs into like.
Oh, the mortar and pestle?
Yeah.
One of
That's probably
those?
what. I mean, that's it. That's
That
it right
thing's
there.
huge. There's no way. That's a huge cauldron, my dude. There's no way that it's just a.
Me? It doesn't matter. We'll
I think
save the lore for later. We did get a sword off of our bottle vendor, so those rupees we found from the tree pole.
Oh, well.
Okay. So now the cape is meaningless at this point. It could mean anything. It could mean nothing. But nice weaponry right at the get-go, so we're going to be leaving Kakariko with some firepower. We do have some bombs on one of the tree poles as well, so WeightyWords going to be able to save a couple rupees here. 50 exact, so not having to buy bombs, which is kind of nice. Yeah, going into Kakariko generally without bombs is a little risky. You're very likely to find bombs in, Blind's Hut or the bottom of the well. But if you don't, then you have to like double check them later. Lose a little bit of time. So I gotta say, I feel like these two sprites you don't really see that often. The pink tunic and the sundae, ice cream sundae.
Is that what that is? I could.
Yeah, he's got a little cherry on top.
Yeah, he.
Like
Okay.
Neapolitan or something.
I can't.
Vanilla Link
Exactly
in quotations.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And we do have a mirror here in the back of Blind's Hut and a flute here in the well. So very nice Kakariko overall. We have some movement options. Flute's going to get us up to Death Mountain, and Mirror's going to actually get us up to Tower of Hera if you combine the two.
Yeah, I think that'd be it's worthwhile to like think about. Hey, might as well just go do Hera immediately, because Crystal Dungeon and all. But I'm one of those people that if I get the stuff to do things early, I want to go do it, right? Like almost right away. Like if I find everything to go to Swamp Palace before even like finding the pearl, you bet I'm going to Swamp Palace right away, even if it is a pendant.
Just to get it out of the way. And
Yeah.
you never know, that could be the next chain of items.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even notice that we got a glove here as well. Jeez.
Yeah.
We're just one item away from
really
Darkwood access. We just need to find a hammer or another glove, and we're in the business. I don't see either of these players going straight to Hera just because of the lack of a fire source in case it's fire source locked. And the other way to look at it is holding off on doing Death Mountain until you find a hammer or hookshot to get over to East Death Mountain. We do, of course, still have the South Shore area, the dam, Mini Moldering Cave. Zora is now in Logic with that glove. And then, of course, still the East Palace area and all of Hyrule Castle. So,
And once they get into the Dark World, that mirror's gonna help out a whole bunch with routing in there. It's so nice to have the mirror early on, so you can not have to worry about double dipping a lot of stuff in the Dark World later on.
oh yeah, stuff like Graveyard Ledge or, well, not so much Graveyard Ledge because that's kind of out of the way, but like K45 is a good one.
That one specifically is, pretty common. The double dip, that area, kind of thing. Doomtap going all the way down to Agnes Cave. Usually don't see this play early on, but the flute, of course, makes it a lot more attractive.
It's kind of one of those, there's two ways to look at it. Is early flute means, okay, I can check this really quickly, so let's just do it now in case it has something. Or I can always check this quickly later because I have the flute, so let's put it off. So
that's what I end up doing in for Ice Rod Cave. Like if I find the Ice Rod Cave, or if I find the flute like in Mini Molderon Cave, it's like, oh well, I won't do Ice Rod Cave because I can just fly to it later. And of course, it always ends up like having something really important.
And then you put it off forever.
Yeah, of course. I can go do this so much faster, and then just never do it.
Well, we did see a blue tunic over at the maze race. WeightyWords going to go ahead and skip it. I would assume because of that we hadn't seen that on Doomtap's side, that just based on his routing, because he had to go buy bombs, he ended up skipping checking library and maze race. Because he went down, bought bombs, then went back up to do Cackwell and Blindset. There is our fire source, first fire source of the game, the lamp.
That is Dark World access. If you really want to go through Aghanim right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't imagine them putting off that for too long. Like I could see like even before Eastern Palace area, just like gambling Aghanim. But I suppose you don't, even if you did get to the Dark World, there's not a whole lot you can do outside of Pod right now.
Yeah.
So perhaps the Eastern area would be a little more attractive than that for that reason.
Personally, for me, I would put off going to going for that Dark World play until I find hookshot or flippers, because then that opens up the whole crossing the broken bridge. Well, there is our bow. So now we can, and our fire rod.
Jeez.
This is starting to get a little stacked for our overworld, which is always concerning as a player, because it's like, oh, it's going to be like a 30-minute hunt for that go mode medallion to get into one of the dungeons or something like that.
Now they're definitely gotta check out Eastern Palace before Dark World.
Mm-hmm. Doomtap going straight for this Ice Rod Cave check. Just trying to get these one-offs out of the way. I like that. Now I will say, though, that if we don't find Dark World access here in the Light World, that the Aga Tower to Pod is kind of looking a little bit better now with that bow, because that means that you can check everything minus killing Helmsar. So finding a hammer in Pod or mitts in Pod is looking a little bit more likely.
I'm really interested that both of them went to go check out Ice Rod Cave. With all this other progression, this is not something I would end up doing. But I mean, I talked about that earlier, that I would always leave this place for last.
Yeah, I mean,
I would just want to get right down to it, go start knocking out dungeons, because we can do a lot of dungeons right now already. It's actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, we can do Hera, and we can do Eastern. Can't get into Desert yet without a book or, well, I guess the mitts.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we don't have really access to Western Dark World quite yet without that hammer or mitts.
Ooh, well, this is interesting. Well, I did see Weighty earlier going out of his way to farm the bush crab a lot more. In fact, he accidentally killed it in his first attempt and only got one big 20 out of it, so he went and retransitioned so he can get more money. So it makes sense that he's going to go ahead and go for Zora now. It is, of course, in logic. And there's all your Zora money right there.
It's the retirement fund gone. Unbelievable.
All right, anything on Hobo? Of course, Hobo is not in logic. Neither will Waterfall Cave be. These are flipper required locations.
Yeah,
the only thing in this section, I guess, is just Zora, because you can get to Zora with the glove from the witch's hut.
If you're going to Zora, you don't want to go all that way just for Zora. So it makes sense to do all this stuff with it.
For me, though, like I would more than likely be following Doomtap's route, just because having that mirror already means that I'd be more inclined to maybe route in Zora with Catfish, because now WeightyWords is going to end up isolating Catfish, which is always a scary thing to do when Catfish has decided a few races so far. Quite a few races in this tournament, I'd say. Or even a qualifier. But what you're seeing on WeightyWords' side is he's going in and out of the Waterfall Cave. And which is setting up this really cool water walk glitch, I guess, which allows him to walk on water to check those chests and to get over to Zora without having to, narrowly avoid hopping in the water. You can only really set up that water walk with two things, either the boots, I'm not going to explain that because we're not going to see it, or by having that Moon Pearl in his hand. So, and that is one of the reasons why I like his routing of Zora's domain. All this is because he has the Moon Pearl. Now would be a good time to do it, because you can set up that water walk and get more checks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Just a art piece, though.
I do like... Yeah, I do agree with what you said earlier. Doomtap's routing of just going straight to Eastern Palace. I am a big fan of just clearing those crystals. Using the Master Sword beams there to take out that Stalfos, just saving a couple of frames. You don't have to go up and use that pot to knock them out. Just minor optimizations like that is what keeps these runners in the top percentage.
I mean, I can see maybe WeightyWords hoping to find Hammer first, and then maybe routing in Pod and Eastern into the same check. But Eastern is a crystal dungeon that you can do, and you need to do, so you're not really losing much time doing it now versus doing it later. There's the Cane of Samaria here in the back of Escape, so still Light World continues to be pretty loaded. Now,
Doomtap. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You were probably about to talk about it. Doomtap skipping he skipped the Vanilla Biggie chest.
Yeah, and he did end up finding the map, so there is still a loose item somewhere in this, this what do you call this place? A dungeon? That dungeon, yeah. Oh no! Get the Zelda gamer right there, missing out on the skull. Had to chase him down a little bit there. But yeah, this is one of those gambles that you'll see people do. More recently, I feel like this didn't really used to be a thing, skipping that chest, but sometimes it just kind of comes out now.
Of all the gambles we make, I really just don't like this one, and of course it didn't work out, so he's got to consider maybe coming back and check, because it's such a long walk to get back to that one check. And if it has something and he just never checks it, then it's gonna be hard to make up time. So I don't know, I just feel like that check is just gonna end up costing you more by skipping it than it's ever gonna save you. Especially this early in, like, we're only 13 minutes in. It just seems like a weird play to go for.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm thinking he went ahead and Doomtap did the, was Doomtap that did Agina?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's shown that he's willing to, like, fully clear stuff like that, right? Kind of go out of his way to check the one-offs like that and Ice Rod Cave. Though I guess they both did Ice Rod Cave, but it seems weird to go do Agina, but to skip that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But at least he will be grabbing the Cane of Samaria here.
Yeah, someone in chat is making a good point. Like, this is a skip like that is something that I could see players making at the end of a run, when they're trying to, like, when they're either already not when they're in go mode, obviously, but like they're one item away from go mode and they need to cut some corners to make up from time loss from earlier in the seed. But to be making it this early is pretty risky. So I'll be curious to see how that turns out for him.
Yeah, we'll see if WeightyWords decides to do the same thing or not. Oh boy, here comes a decision. This Doomtap's gonna scale Death Mountain here. Perhaps go check out Hera, which we can guaranteed be able to fully clear right now. It is a crystal dungeon. Could be kind of unfortunate if we have to just scale it again later to... He's doing the same thing. Oh my gosh.
Huh. Well, I see something new every day, I guess. All right, well. Okay. Well, that's, I mean, if you're, gosh, I just hope it's the hammer or something extremely important then. And both these runners have to come back for it later.
Yeah, it'll be...
I mean, here's the thing. If I could see them maybe go back and check it after dipping Pod later, but yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking as well. That'd be like the only good time to ever go do that, and it seems like Pod may be fairly early in this seed. I don't know, because I'm a big supporter of I said earlier, using progression items as you find them. So because the bow doesn't really unlock anything off of Farmhouse here, I'm easily thinking, hey, Pod is something I want to do sooner rather than later, even without the hammer, honestly. As the hammer only blocks, you know, the one thing in Pod. I would be not surprised if we end up seeing at least one item.
Mm-hmm. And you never know. It could be a Pod where the entire dungeon is bow locked if there isn't a small key in the first chest. Interesting find here for Doomtap, picking up the book here in Spectacle Cave that has some interesting options for him now, other than the easy one, the Ether check here up next to Tower of Hero, but that also gets him into Desert. Now, he already saw what was on the ledge. I think it was just a big 20, so he's not too interested in that. But, you know, Desert has 2 potential items, and you could get information about whether it's boots locked or not. So,
speaking of information, WeightyWords just found out that the green pendant is Ice Palace.
Ugh. You hate to see that.
Yeah, and as you were saying in the point to Desert Palace, it would be good to know. I mean, you would find this out anyway later, and it might not be a concern, but it would be good to know if the boots are actually going to be required or not for something on the torch. usually a key. Here's the rest of our dungeon check. We have Skullwoods and Turtle Rock as our important crystals, and Pod and Swamp as our other pendants. Of course, you get the bow and all this stuff to kind of tug you towards Pod, and it ends up being that pendant.
Yeah, and with that information, I mean, would you be more or less inclined to go for the Aga play? I mean, the way that these guys are routing is that they'll probably full clear everything, maybe skip desert, maybe. Let's see what Ether has first. Just a big 20. But they're probably going to end up routing front of Hyrule Castle into Aga Tower, which is a very efficient way of doing that if you're going to put it off. And especially for Doomtap, because not having that Moon Pearl yet.
Oh, that's true. I can see him getting that fairly quickly, though. The castle, it feels like it takes a while. There is a good number of items there, but with that uncle, combining with the uncle, you know, seems... And he could have just... At this point, he's probably thinking, well, I could just do the castle before gambling on Aghanim, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see, you know, he'll do uncle, grab the pearl, and then perhaps the rest of the castle, use that handy mirror, and, you know, head right back. Yeah, we're going up here right now. We do have the small key, but if we're lucky, we'll not have to use it if we can pull out both of the items in this dungeon before heading down to the basement.
Yeah, you don't really see both small key and big key in the front of Hera. I feel like that doesn't show up that often. But, I don't know. It seems like there'd be a good chance that there might be... Well, now there's a very, very good chance that there's going to be an item in the basement.
Only
and, you know...
left.
Ooh, very nice bomb jump. Whoa, okay.
Hey.
Well, there is our Darkhold Axis. There will not be any Aga Tower visits today. But here's the thing. Doomtap is still going to have to get that Moon Pearl. He might actually be inclined to maybe check Checkerboard first in case... Because that's a popular spot for the Moon Pearl to be when you have this loadout, in my opinion.
Yeah, so. That's true. It could also kind of tug him into maybe an earlier desert check as well.
Yeah, because he's going to be still looking for that Moon Pearl. And, you know, Book hasn't gotten him anything yet. But we'll have to wait and see. Having a little bit of trouble on this Moldorm fight, trying to use the cape to avoid getting knocked down or knocked around. But takes him down 3 spins. And there will be an item in the basement.
Oh, no. Now, if he goes back in there and gets that, I'm going to be really confused about the Eastern play.
I feel like he's going to bail.
Yeah. It was your Moldorm being a little dangerous. People often are concerned about Moldorm for falling, but he actually does do a full heart of damage on green mail. So when you're only at 4, it can be a little scary.
Well, all right, well.
Not going down.
This seemed like, could easily see with them mitts in hand. It's like, go straight for Checkerboard Cave, and then he'll probably dip into desert right away. But we are going to get some information on our mystery mire, including what medallion we need. It is going to be something. Just kidding. We're gonna go to desert first.
That bird does do 4 hearts on green, right?
It's 3 or 4. I think it's 3.
Excessive is what it is.
It's a lot.
But yeah, that's kind of a concern about running through mire there to check out Pearl and check for Pearl in some weird locations. Is that you can't really defend yourself as a bunny right there, and that's a pretty annoying bird. The mushroom is on the torch.
That's unfortunate. I want to point out I really like that double bomb setup that Weighty did to get to the big chest. I don't know who came up with that, but my earliest memory of seeing someone use that was Yagamoth when I was watching his streams doing it, and it's a really neat one.
Is that so you can set it up faster?
I think it's just so you don't have to worry about the spin next to the edge.
Right. And I guess the boots make the normal method a little easier, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad there on the Moldorm.
Well, and there's both items out of desert, so... Doomtap, I can see Doomtap just bailing now and not finishing desert. Just because he's going to have to come back and do mire later, but it looks like I am wrong. I guess it would be faster just to go ahead and do this instead of later.
Yeah,
and he does have a fire rod, so...
Yeah, that'll be pretty quick. Yeah,
I could
if
just
things go
also.
downhill. You can use that NMG bow.
That's true.
Shooting Lamoles with the bow is so stupid. Yo,
It's
Weighty's going
pretty-
downstairs.
Right? So, I'm very curious about the decision making that these players are going with. You know, skipping some things and picking others. It almost seems like there's not really like a procedure to it. It's just I'm gonna do this, but not this.
How you're feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely understand that. I really do. That Igor.
He's
Yo, how you
eyeing him
doing?
down. He's
7
whispering.
seconds, you're gonna
Sweet
feel
nothings
a
in his
bunch
ear.
of- Oh, yeah.
This also might be a WeightyWords thinking, I know Doomtap's not going to do this, so if this is something important, then I'm in there. And Doomtap is going for the bow strats, getting a few hits in. Very nice. Unfortunately, getting a little too hasty with that fire rod and missing 2 shots, so... Just a heart piece, but that does bring WeightyWords up to 5 hearts, so at least there's something good that came out of it. All right, Weighty, where are you going? Looks like he's gonna go follow suit straight into desert. Okay, he just wanted to see what was up there. Isn't this nice to see? You're 23 minutes in. You already have 3 crystals. They're all the light world dungeons.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And
So here's the
quite
thing-
often you don't even have 1 crystal at this time, let alone 3.
Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing.
Almost.
Oh, it was bombos. So we still need a hammer. We're gonna need 1 to 2 medallions. We're gonna need ice rod, and then we're gonna need a hook shot for GT. But like, you know, with pendant, ice, and swamp, we're not gonna really need the flippers potentially.
And that hookshot could very well be in GT.
Yeah, it's possible.
Doomtap setting up a little glitch there to open those 2 chests in the mire shed as a bunny. Gets it fairly quickly. It looked like it was like first or second try. Just didn't lose too much time there.
Players are now starting to get a few hearts along the way, so which is still good when you're at. You know, that brings up a point that I still don't think Doomtap has seen. Oh well, wow, there's the hook shot.
I'm a little
That's easy.
disappointed, honestly, but wow, that's like all of East Death Mountain too. Not for Doomtap
Yeah,
quite yet, but still pretty close.
and I'm assuming he's gonna go right there, so that's gonna keep, you know, missing, not checking Uncle right at the beginning. Is gonna put that moon pearl off for a while, so he's gonna actually lose quite a bit of time from this because he's not gonna be able to check Hookshot Cave.
Yeah,
But we will get to see actual Super Bunny
actually.
Cave, so its namesake is finally happening. You don't see that very often.
That's really unfortunate. Being, yeah, that's just a really unfortunate sequence of events here. We'll see if Weighty pulls out of Hookshot Cave once he gets over there. I can't imagine putting that off for too long. East Up Mountain is just way too appealing to put off for any amount of time.
Doomtap's got to be a little bit careful. The Tech-Techs will do 2 hearts of damage, and the Dead Rocks will do a full heart. So opting to go straight into the Dark World, so we can just mirror up here and then mirror through the bottom of Paradox.
Yeah, I won't have to worry about Tech Lights this way too. It's an interesting way of dodging it. Alright, Weighty coming up on Land Moles here. See if he gets the stare from that red Igor. Doomtap's about to pull out these 7 items.
The crazy thing is, they, right now, at least Weighty, because he has the Pearl, can complete Skullwoods and Thieves Town with his current items. So, you know, we're just a medallion or 2 away, a hammer, and that ice rod. That's it.
That's gonna be so much stuff that's just open to you. Tempered Sword, not bad.
Oh, and there's that blue mail. So we've seen both mail upgrades now.
Doomtap hasn't. Doomtap was the one that skipped out on the race game right away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hasn't seen that down there.
You can just mirror on top of that item, right? You don't even have to do the race game.
No, you have to do it. If you race on top of it, the guy will be like, "Hey, you can't do that." That's
Oh,
cheap."
really? What a jerk.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a big fan of that.
It's like he has morals or something.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable. Who would do such a thing? All right, well, crystal counts are all tied up. This is a very interesting seed, and it could still very well come down to, a pendant something required, a pendant dungeon having something,
Yeah, it's really feeling at the moment here, that just with the pendants being what they are, we could very well just have a, someone wins by picking this dungeon first or something like that. But we're still looking for a couple things first before we get into that.
Right now, the only one they can actually do or dip into and do most of is Palace of Darkness. But when you have two other crystal dungeons you could do right now, you're not doing that.
Yeah, I guess when you don't have flippers yet, you're not too concerned about those two quite yet. I'm still pretty interested in Pod, considering how early the bow was, but I mean, there's just so much other convenient stuff to do. Like the entire Thieves Town area has so much stuff just laying around in it. I would probably do that before Pod at this point.
I'm gonna be actually livid if this still ends up being a stinking ice rod hunt. Like, I'm gonna be so upset. It happens too often. It makes me very angry. All right, anything in Super Bunny Cave? Just
no.
Rupees and bombs. Doomtap gonna not check the medallion for T-Rock.
I think that's what he was debating there for a moment, is going all the way up to check it out, but I don't know.
It's a bit of a walk, so it's understandable to not do that. No hookshot cave. Looks like he is gonna get his Moon Pearl based on this round. Now the question is, Mikon, is he gonna go and do the front of Hyrule Castle?
Ooh, as tempting as it would be because you're right here, I don't think so. Because I mean, look at your loadout. You are like set for an hour in the Dark World. Even if you last location, or I don't know what I'm thinking. You could spend like an entire hour in the Dark World just searching stuff with what he has right now.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that happens so often. It's like, dude, the Light World was so loaded. There's no way there's going to be anything in Hyrule Castle. And then boom, medallion.
We haven't seen Diamond Zelda sell yet. He's going, it looks like.
Now I could see him maybe put this off until he does like a pyramid check.
And just
but then, at the same time, you're not going to just do a pyramid check unless you're doing Pyramid Fairy, and by that time you're probably going to be in go mode. Unless you're like unless T-Rock and Meyer have different medallions, which we'll find out soon from WeightyWords' side.
I guess they do have the flute, huh? I was excited when he was walking out of Uncle that he was just going to the castle, but I suppose
he still walked down quite a ways, though.
He did, yeah.
He could have just fluted right outside the entrance, so he might have been thinking about it.
Either way, here we are going into Skull Woods as our first dip Dark World at about 30 minutes. We'll be able to fully clear this dungeon with our fire rod.
Tempered Sword being a nice find, gonna make the Mothula fight even easier. Might even see a pedestal check, maybe.
Can be
but
what?
Highly unlikely.
Medallion, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, or Ice Rod. That's
the Ice Rod, yes.
Or some other stupid fetch quest or something like that. Yeah. We're gonna see Hookshot Cave on WeightyWords' side, so be curious to see if that has anything of value. Because if it does, it's gonna give Weighty a huge advantage here.
Yeah, 4 items is it's a pretty good chunk to miss out on, honestly. And it's I don't know, it's kind of far to go back to, but I mean, 4 guaranteed items is, I don't know. Going back here after you've done Super Bunny is always like a really hard decision to make.
The other thing is, if it ends up
4 items is,
if it like ends up being like a hammer or something, and then Doomtap ends up finding other progression that isn't hammer locked, that WeightyWords ends up putting off because he's doing hammer checks, that could be, one of those things that kind of alters. Well, let's just see what we got. We got $20. We got $20. Do we have $20? We do have $20. Can I get a fourth 20?
Let's
we
go.
got 4 20s. Wow. Wow. Doomtap, get lucking out there. We are going to see what medallion we need for T-Rock coming up here while Doomtap's taking on the Mothula. It is Quake, so we do need 2 medallions to complete this seed, so our required item pool has grown a little bit. Just a little bit.
Doomtap getting that mirror out and getting ready to go check the pedestal, it seems like. Mothula not given too favorable patterns here. Keeps wanting to get knocked into those spikes, which of course don't do any damage. But cleans it up with a nice second half of the fight there.
Well, here's the big key.
Did you find any items in here?
I think you only check 2 spots.
Yeah,
the
it makes
big
sense.
key and a small key.
It makes sense. If you're walking back out to do Dark World stuff, it makes sense just to do it back to front.
Yeah. He'll probably go back in and check the front chest unless he's, galaxy braining that it's a small key or something. But with big key on Mothula, well, no, big key has to lead to Mothula can't lead to a small key ever.
That's correct. Yeah. So the big key has to have something that, I mean, I guess it could be the map or compass, but
okay, there it is. That's why I don't like that check anymore, because it always ends up being a small key pretty often. We are going to get that pedestal check here, while WeightyWords is going to be following closely behind into Skullwoods. Be curious to see if he does the exact same route, or if he decides to check the front half first. What do we got? I make things go triple boom.
oh man,
That's 3 bombs. I don't think we need those.
I think I've seen a couple casual players that think, "Whoa, that's Bombos. I need that." But no, that is definitely not what that is.
Well, Bamos would say Ring of Fire. Triple bomb. I feel like the first time I ever saw that hint, I probably thought the exact same thing. And then pulled 3 bombs. I was like, wait a minute. Something doesn't add up here.
Oh, 3 Bombos. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh. It looks like WeightyWords is doing the exact same route, so it's going to work out for Doomtap. We haven't seen either item in this dungeon, so they are both going to be in the front half. And it'll be curious to see if this ends up being our hammer, our ice rod, maybe the boots, maybe... Because this could be something dumb, like boots to get mushroom from desert. Maybe just a heart piece.
A heart piece, yeah, that's pretty, Oh gosh.
The bug net, the shovel.
I haven't done enough 31 seeds. I'm here wondering, why is he walking in? Doesn't make any sense, but...
Yeah, it's not very often you get to see someone walk straight down to this spot, but in this context, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even need, you could just grab a ride with the Wallmaster, too, if you want to.
Last spot, unfortunately.
Full clear Skullwoods, feels bad.
At least Skullwoods is so incredibly tiny compared to other dungeons. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, it's in the big chest.
Oh, the big chest, right.
I really like the style of bomb jumping, where you place the bomb and then walk past it. There's our first bottle. That's useful.
Yeah, we're actually really close to Sick Kid.
Well, this could be interesting. WeightyWords
actually check it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the dilemma. The amount of times we've seen people go into Thieves Town without a hammer and then the big chest ends up having something. It seems like there's a low possibility of that, but, you just hate making that play sometimes.
It only happens, if you only have to, well, I mean, it's stupid to say you only have to worry about it if you don't have the hammer, which is, of course, correct, but it only, seems to have an item. It's just one of those stupid things, right? Because it only seems to have an item in it if you don't have the hammer. This is one of those stupid, superstition. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. God, I haven't commentated in so long. How are you doing, Willard?
Doing great. Well, this is interesting. The graveyard check right away from Doomtap. I feel like he's trying to check a lot of these things that... Okay, well, it works out. He gets the ice rod, which is one of the required items we need. So this is not going to be an ice rod hunt. At this point, I mean, it's either going to be... I mean, we just need the 2 medallions and hammer, but that's a huge find. Graveyard Ledge is definitely one of those locations that players like to put off. Be curious to see if WeightyWords routes similarly or not. If there's any time to check it, it's either right now or later if you're doing boots checks. But even then, you'd rather just do those in the light world, so... I'm gonna have to give advantage to Doomtap right now.
Yeah, I'll say. That's I feel like the swing over to check the bumper ledge and then swing just a little further. I don't think that's too obscure. I think Weighty will probably be fine. Just getting that immediately is what I'm thinking.
The thing is, he does have the cape So it makes sense. If you're going to check bumper ledge, then yeah, you would go ahead and do graveyard ledge while you're at it. Because it is only, what, one more screen over? Well, one screen south and one screen east. WeightyWords, he's about to leave Skull Woods. We miss out on... This is interesting. Did Doomtap skip?
He did.
Village of Outcast checks?
Race
and digging game? Where's he?
He checked the Sea House, but I don't think... Like, I don't think he checked the brewery down there. Maybe even the chest game, like the entire just kind of west half of the town.
I think he's just very keen on getting to Hype Cave. And then he can go back and do the other stuff that are closer together. Which kind of makes sense, because if, Hype Cave he could have the hammer. He's just, I think he's just trying to avoid Thieves Town check. Without hammer. There's a heart container, I would definitely grab that.
Yeah, with this amount of health, definitely grab that. Yeah, it's understandable. Hype Cave is, it's a lot of stuff, and it's not too terribly far away. And just, the peace of mind of having the hammer before going to Thieves Town is just so good.
Ooh, bit of a mirror bomb there, it looks like. Yeah, it's interesting skipping digging game. Because now it's like, well, when are you going to do... I mean, like, he might as well just grab the... Well, no, I guess he wouldn't grab the frog either.
He's gonna walk
I don't know.
back.
I have no idea what this routing is. This is interesting.
Yeah, he's probably just gonna walk back, right? Just grab the digging game and then the frog to go back up.
I've watched plenty of races. I've seen people route, and this is bizarre.
Not one of them.
This is very bizarre. Oh, and WeightyWords is going to go for the graveyard ledge check, so he's going to get his ice rod.
Nice.
So that advantage that Doomtap has is going to completely deplete for the time being. $300, $20, half magic. That's a nice find.
That's a good consolation prize, but not quite what we're looking for. We're getting to the point of, like, perhaps a go mode hammer, which is almost the dream, isn't it? Right, because the hammer locks so much that having it as your last item, there's not a whole lot of... I mean, you don't have to search for anything else. There's so many other places you could search. But once they get that hammer, those medallions are just going to be, like, anywhere.
Why is he walking back?
He's walking back! I was joking, okay?
Why is he walking back? I don't understand. He really wants that hammer, I guess. Like, in this case... He might as well have just, like, grabbed the frog, turned him in, and brought purple chest down to do that into Bombos, maybe? I don't know. Or he might as well have just done digging game while he was walking down here.
Yeah, and like, then this just flew up.
Straight up bizarre.
Maybe he had an idea of something, and just something in his head say, nah, just do this instead. And I don't know. I don't get the symmetry here. Like, I see a lot of people, like, when they do the digging game, they'll do an entire row all the way to the... They're losing frames, Willard. Okay, I'm concerned. I tried the mirror right there, but he dug.
He hasn't... Oh, okay. He hasn't seen the maze race, so he wants to check this. He's going to see it's a tunic. He's not going to get it, but... I like this, the fact that he got to put this off until now. So...
Right.
And he definitely made this decision because he got the mirror in Kakariko.
Going to the bottom of Kakariko to buy bombs, then walking all the way back up, then walking all the way back down again is such a chore. It's been at least a couple times I've skipped these bottom two checks just because I didn't want to bomb Blind's Hut, then walk all the way back out, then go all the way back down. But I don't know. But Doomtap is going to be able to knock out, like, everything here. He's going to be super safe, and that's an okay peace of mind, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been burned by a Thieves Town big chest in the past and doesn't want a chance for that to happen again.
Huh. Alright, well, we're sort of synced up. Doomtap is going to go ahead and turn in that bottle, see what that gets him, if anything. And if it, that's an easy one to forget about. It's only $20, so nothing exciting. So, yeah, what's next? What are we looking for? I feel like if you're one of these players, the last thing you want to see would be, like, the flippers.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. That sounds really
to see that.
Not fun.
Oh, this could be a situation of mirroring to do Magic Bat. It looks like WeightyWords is going to do that. I've seen,
because you have to dump your portal to do that.
and I've seen Magic Bat lead to Hammer once or twice, so you know it's a good possibility.
Doomtap did drop his portal there, but he's taking a little bit of a haul to get back to.
Yeah,
Forgetting the purple chest, not grabbing it at all.
Oh no! The
Oh,
flippers!
there's the flippers at the pit! Doomtap's gonna grab him immediately too. Uh-oh.
That feels bad. Oh, that sucks. Well, I mean, here's the thing. WeightyWords did already check a lot of those flipper locations, so really that opens up one item in Swamp and then all of Green Pendant Ice Palace.
Boy.
While Doomtap, it has all the flipper checks, Zora, and all that stuff. So we might see maybe like a Catfish Zora play from Doomtap, maybe. But it looks like he's... Well, let's see where he wants to go.
Doomtap not grabbing the purple chest there? He didn't grab the purple chest. He didn't get his items for the black either. He has to go back in here and grab that. Yeah, he lost his portal and he doesn't have the purple chest, which seems weird that both of those things happened. Like doing one of them is understandable, but I think this might have been like a miscalculation or something.
I would assume so. Well, WeightyWords is going to go ahead and just dive into Thieves Town and say, eh, close enough. You never know. I'm still of the opinion that you want to check the first floor of Thieves Town, regardless of the prize, just because, much like checking Skullwoods without Fire Rod, I don't know, it's pretty safe to assume to treat it just like Overworld.
Even if it is a crystal, I could see checking the first 4, leaving, and maybe like go do what Doomtap did, go check Hype Cave right there. If you want that extreme peace of mind, it doesn't take too long to get from the start of Thieves Town back to where you would have been. But yeah, it's really weird the way this is working out. I'm really curious to see where this hammer is or when our next progression is.
I mean, that's the thing is we could find Bombos to get us into Mire, and I could easily see Bombos being like first chest of Ice Palace because the whole Fire Rod leading to Bombos.
Yeah, Fire Rod was super early, and we didn't really need it for much on its own, considering where the lamp was quite accessible as well.
Well, 2 items in the front of Thieves Town, no small key, so it's going to come down to 50-50 whether the small key is going to be locked in the big chest or it's going to be next to the maiden. So I feel like going ahead and just finishing the dungeon now is a good call.
Yep. It's just hard. It's hard. No hammer Thieves Town. It's dumb.
It's scary. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Honestly, if you're one of these 2 players right now, it's like, ugh. You have so many options right now. Especially for like Doomtap, he could go up and do Hookshot Cave again, but I know he's not going to ever do it until he can do T-Rock. But he's not going to know whether he can do T-Rock until he finds all the medallions, probably, or at least 2 out of the 3.
You might see him go check out Hookshot Cave after finding like 1 medallion in the hammer, right? Because he has a chance of getting the Turtle Rock. Then.
Yeah, that's true. So right now we still have what? Front of Escape, that 1 chest in Eastern Palace. We now have access to a portion of Ice Palace. We have all of Pod minus Helma, 1 item in Swamp. These are not great locations, to be honest. You can check on the Pyramid as well. Catfish is an option too. These late hammer seeds, they're just...
Yeah, unless it's your go mode item. Yeah, unless it's your go mode item, late hammer is really, really stinky. I'm more partial to Pod right now, I think, above any of the other ones.
You just really want to see that bow come into play.
Dude, that's part of it. That is definitely part of it. I can't lie. I wouldn't lie to you, Willard.
No, you wouldn't dare.
I know what you'd do.
All right, moment of truth for WeightyWords side. Either he's going to get a small key here, which is going to put a potential item. No, there's still a map or compass at play, so there is still a chance that the map or compass is in the big chest. I'm pretty sure because I think the front half had 2 items, and then the chest next to the bomb hole was 10 arrows. So blind could have the last item. But yeah, I'd be concerned right now if I was waiting. I'm like, no, don't do this to me. But at the same time, it's like you skip that one item in Eastern, so you end up skipping an item in here too. It's like, whatever.
I think I'm pretty positive you said that chest in Eastern might end up being the hammer. Did you say that?
Maybe.
Like right when we skipped it, you said, well, it might go back in here for the hammer or something.
It'd be funny.
Yeah.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but it'd be hilarious because they both skipped it. All right, Blind, what do you got? Just the map. That's gonna put an item in the big chest.
Doomtap might be a little peeved about that one, considering how much he went out of the way to try to avoid this situation.
Listen, if you just didn't skip one item in Eastern, you'd be fine, probably.
Oh man, that's not gonna feel the best. But
I mean, here's the thing: WeightyWords still has to go down to Hype Cave, and he's gonna have the flippers. I could easily see him, maybe check Bombos. He might just go ahead and go for the first item in Swamp after Hype Cave. Might see him go to Pod, maybe.
I could see that also because Dark World access to get down there to that part of the Dark World is so far away. Without the hammer, that there's no good chance to check that first item in Swamp. Without the hammer, doing all that you've done and getting down to that part of the Dark World, I think I would check the first chest in Swamp Palace at this time. As attractive as the other places are.
I mean, how much time do you lose checking one item in Swamp?
It's mostly just the outside stuff.
Yeah. It's not... I mean, it's bad. But it's not... It's a galaxy brain play. You just gotta go for it.
I still think Pod's the answer, of course. But I don't think I would shy away from checking out Swamp right now.
So, chat member makes a good point that Doomtap is very likely after Thieves Town to probably have the east route of the Dark World to go over to Catfish. Maybe into Pod, that route. I mean, other than that, we'll
see if he remembers to grab the purple chest, because that's still there as well.
I doubt it. Maybe
he
after
doesn't
you
want
get
to make
hammered.
a third walk trip down there.
I don't know. It's tough. This is why. I mean, this is the style of play that I don't like. Skipping stuff. It's just gonna haunt me on the rest of the seed. It's like, oh man, I skipped one thing. What is this?
Just bombing it.
Why'd he bomb that stuff? What did he do?
Maybe he accidentally laid a bomb and just wanted to make use of it. And what better way? Alright, we're gonna see Bombos here in a moment. I don't think we've seen this one quite yet.
Oh, apparently that was something that you do in one of the newer, more exciting categories of the vanilla speedrun, the all dungeon speedrun, which I need to watch more of. Wacky bomb strats like that. Speaking of wackiness, we are getting our first Bombos check over on WeightyWords' side. What is it going to be? Just a heart container.
Bombos would have been pretty interesting right there.
Bombos would have been fun.
I'm expecting Bombos instead of the hammer as our next item. I don't know. It's
Hammer and Myers seems pretty good.
Yeah, it really does. It's one of those stupid predictions that that chat likes to make all the time. That's going to be mine for this.
That you're making right now?
Yeah, that's I'm gonna.
What a call out!
Makes a fool of all of us.
Well, the question is Weighty going to go for the swamp play after Hype Cave? I couldn't see him go swamp and then hype.
No.
That'd be silly, because if Hammer's right here, then he could just... Well, he doesn't even want to go to swamp, it's a pendant.
That's a good point.
At this point, our players are all tied up in crystals, 5 apiece. We are looking for... We just need Bombos to get into Mire. We need Quake to get into T-Rock, but we also need that Hammer to get into T-Rock. We just need those 3 things, as far as we know, at this time.
Is it swamp?
He's going for it.
That's the right direction.
And Doomtap is actually going to go get that purple chest. Now the question is he going to also... He's just going to mirror and turn it in.
It's going to skip out on Bombos, yeah, unfortunate.
Well, moment of truth. If Hammer is in Swamp... Honestly, that would kind of stink, because it's like, well, do I keep going in case, Bombos or Quake are in here too?
Oh, no,
or do I just...
That would be so bad.
Why? Because I mean, what does Hammer unlock at them other than more pendant dungeons?
Yeah, it's
Hammer
mostly
pegs?
this is what Hammer would unlock. Most of Swamp and Ice are like the main attractions to Hammer.
So would you rather you'd rather find the medallions first, obviously. Hammer, how many times have we seen Hammer go mode? I don't think we've seen that in this tournament yet. It just seems like such a rare thing.
I think staying in Swamp, if this was the Hammer, would be definitely a good move.
Alright, moment of truth. What are we gonna get? Every time I do this, it's always the big key, and I'm like, oh, come on, that's not even fair. Oh, it's Quake!
Whoa! It's not. It's not
Bombos.
We did.
But it is a required medallion that still requires Hammer. But that means Bombos and Ice Palace, Quake or Hammer and Mire for Go mode. Come on!
Oh my gosh!
Come on! Come on!
If that happens,
you want to do it.
If that happens to be Doomtap's Go mode item, I don't think that's gonna be that bad. It's like pretty. I don't know. I feel like Swamp is if you're like only searching for a Go mode item and you only have penance left, that's 6 items in Swamp. You know, it makes sense to go check that one fairly early on. So yeah, if Doomtap ends up, he's going to the Hookshot Cave. At least we'll get the Turtle Rock information.
Yeah. We've already seen all this up on Death Mountain, and, you know, he's just going to get his 4 big 20s and then find out his T-Rock info. So he would have done this earlier, but he did not have the Moon Pearl when he came up here the first time, so he's going to lose a little bit more time. The rare, actual, legit Super Bunny. So, unfortunately, Doomtap, his routing decisions have been hurting him a lot overall. Especially all the stuff with, you know, West Dark World, the Village of Outcasts, all that stuff. A lot of back and front. But it's not over yet.
If choices were wrong, that'd be different. But that one was a little strange to me. Well, we'll have to ask him about it. All right, Weighty going into pod. I haven't shut up about pod since we, you know, found the bow. See if my ramblings have actually paid off or not.
I'm curious to see if this entire thing is bow locked, because that would make me even more intrigued about being in here.
Ooh, we're going to Lower Hyrule Castle?
Dude, if Bombos is in here, that would be hilarious. Now, the other question is, if Weighty leaves, or, you know, it is entirely bow locked, but that is one of our first items, so there's only 4 more in here. But the question is Weighty going to go back into Eastern after this?
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
He's got to be feeling okay right now, especially with that Quake that he found in Swamp. He's got to be feeling like, all right, I'm not doing too bad. So he can probably spend the time to go back into Eastern. All right.
Doomtap needs something awesome here to, I don't know, feel like he's caught up or not, I guess.
The thing is, if Weighty doesn't find anything in Pod or in Eastern, I could see him walk backwards out of Pod and then head over to the Pyramid at this point. And then, you know, if Hammer does end up being in Escape, he could mirror to check that. So we'll see.
Even if he doesn't find, if he doesn't find anything in Pod and Eastern, that's a huge time sink. Like, you don't think about Eastern as a time sink late in the game, but it's just kind of strange how it's all kind of laid out here.
Yeah.
Both of them skipping that one chest.
I don't remember. Did we already get the map out of Escape? I don't think so.
Oh gosh, I don't quite remember.
Oh, there it is!
All right. Well, decision time. Check the back. The back has a lot of stuff in it. Yeah.
The Hammer. All right, Doomtap needs to find Bombos in here right now if he wants to stay alive in this race, because WeightyWords has taken a huge lead. But yeah, there were 2 ways you could go about this. You could have done Aga Tower to get to Pod, or you could have gotten the flippers out of Magic Bat, which is hilarious, to get over to Pod to get this hammer. But yeah, here's the thing: is it really depends on where Bombos is, because Weighty could full clear the game. He'd still last location Bombos, and now for him, Bombos could be in Turtle Rock. So I would assume he'd probably just go straight there.
Yeah.
It's a crystal dungeon. You could do it. There's 5 items plus a 6 at Mimic Cave. But what if Bombos is in Eastern?
Oh my gosh! Don't.
No, it's right there. Okay,
Game changer. Oh my
we are
gosh!
in no mode. We know everything. We have all the information minus the GT Torch information, whatever.
Dude, I love video games. This is awesome.
Every time, man. It's like Light World was stacked. There's no way Hyrule Cast is gonna have anything. Boom. Medallion. It's the same thing, dude. Speaking of, it's the same thing that happened to me in WeightyWords at SG Live. Same thing happened. Super stack Light World, Medallion for Go Mode, and Hyrule Castle.
That's great. I remember one of the early seeds I did. I did Aghanim's Tower when I didn't need to. Like Hammer was in Aghanim's Cave or something like that, and everyone else like on the restream did it and got their Hammer, and I ended up going into Pod as a consequence, and ended up finding a very crucial mirror there that no one got until really late. And that's kind of exactly like people always see a useless Aghanim as a time sink, like a huge one, but if something crazy like that happens in Pod, if one of these players did Aghanim and the other one didn't, it could still, end up being super close considering where that Hammer was.
But I mean, it's the same way you look at it. It's like Hammer unlocks a lot of stuff, and it could send WeightyWords in completely different directions because now he's going to do all of T-Rock. He'll probably do Spike Cave after this. So the question is, though,
Ice and Swamp.
If he does Pyramid Fairy after T-Rock, he's fine. He should be fine. Because T-Rock is the other Pyramid Fairy crystal, and if he's efficiently routing, that would be the only time to do Hyrule Castle. Unless you, which is a concept that has made me lose races all the time, where it's like, well, if this item's here, I've already lost.
Right.
As long as he doesn't subscribe to that mindset in this race, WeightyWords should be fine. Now, the question is for Doomtap, though, is when's he going to get that Hammer, and when is he going to get that Quake? Because the Quake in the first chest of Swamp is terrible. So if Doomtap does go to Pod first, gets the Hammer, he'll probably go do all... Well, no, he can't do T-Rock without Quake.
That's why I'm thinking, getting the Hammer first. That's why I think the first item in Swamp isn't really that bad, because of the hunt and peck situation that Doomtap is going to have here. Swamp is pretty attractive as an earlier place to go hunting for items, and it just being right there, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Yeah, but Weighty has to remember to mirror on the pyramid.
But yeah, that's the thing is, the other thing you got to think about is for Doomtap at this point, getting to Ice Palace is so much quicker than getting to Pod. I could see him going for the Ice Palace play at this point because he has no reason to ever go to Pod unless he does the Catfish route, but that's still such a long walk, and he's got to be feeling stressed and behind because of the time loss he had just routing Dark World earlier. So it'll be very interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. I still kind of have to give advantage to WeightyWords because at least, well, they're both kind of working towards crystals at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call. Burn.
This is wild. Yeah, this is wild, dude.
I can't believe Bombos isn't Hyrule Castle.
We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know exactly who has the major advantage at all, if any, right? Until a good I don't know, 15 minutes from now, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, to go all the way over to Pod at this point for Doomtap sounds like it's so far away. While WeightyWords is on the correct path if he continues with this route of T-Rock, Pyramid Fairy Crystals, Big Bomb, Mirror, Front of Escape. So now we just get to sit back and watch and see if it unfolds. We can sit here and predict all we want, but I mean, if you're trying to predict what Doomtap's going to do, you're going to...
we tried that earlier, right?
Which, yeah, it just doesn't work that way. I'm more mad that they're both going to get away with skipping that chest in Eastern. That makes me upset.
I believe this.
I'm so angry. You can't tell.
I'm going to tell the Racing Council to always have that item as a good item. So no one can skip it.
And we just need to find some sort of weird icebreaker, but for Eastern Palace to get us over there.
Gosh, Every time I hear someone mention Icebreaker, I think of that awful Bruce Campbell movie.
It's such a good name for a glitch. I love it. Or
It's really
it's not just a glitch; it's a utilization of a glitch. But
I do enjoy that.
a nice mirror shield, nearly vanilla, French vanilla. Well, Mikan, I'm like exhausted because of all the things that just unfolded in the last like 10 minutes, and now we're just kind of sitting here waiting for something to happen.
It'll be a while before anything like
we don't really have anything
happens,
to talk about because like these guys are both seasoned runners. They know what they're doing.
Speculate on where the boots are. We still don't have those.
It's true. Doomtap setting up for the spooky action glitch here in Meyer. Looks like.
Weedy got a pretty nice Hokuboku room there. Maybe got to take him out. Ooh, we got that.
Nice. Yep.
It was a favorable position for those.
The thing is, for now, I mean, Doomtap will have the advantage of being able to go mode T-Rock. So for Weighty, he needs to find, just to feel even better, he needs to find boots here in Mimic Cave, or another sword. Silvers would be more convenient than another sword at this point. Because Doomtap's not going to check any of this. Shut to Harpies.
Some cape action going on there. Vitreous. Cape spins being very, very safe. Which is good because our max health isn't all that much. I guess Doomtap has the blue mail. But it's still pretty scary.
8 hearts blue mail is pretty comfortable, I'd say. At least for these runners. Alright, well, Doomtap grabbing that 6th crystal. Now comes the big decision. Where is he going to go to next? I could see him going straight for Ice Palace, because it's far more convenient to go to. If he wants to go to Pod, he'll go to Flute 4. Is it 4? Or 3? Village of Outcasts. That one.
Wait, Village of Outcasts is 4.
3. Okay. 4 is Link's house.
3. 4 is... What? Oh my god. No. No, you're right, because... I haven't played this game in a while. Can you tell? Because when I'm scribbling my entrance rando notes and I have to like mark down the caves by Pod and Eastern, I always call it like Flute 5 Cave. And here I am saying that it's not Flute 5. Doomtap is...
Flute 5 is Pod.
Yes, I know. That's why... That's why I'm not good.
Alright, well, we are probably going to see a catfish play from Doomtap. And then, yeah, I'm going to assume he's going to route down to Pod at this point. So he is going to get his hammer. But then it's going to be a 50-50 of Swamp versus Ice for him. But yeah, this race is not over. It still comes down to what WeightyWords does after T-Rock.
Nothing of use in Turtle Rock, so even like doing all the dungeon isn't going to give him any sort of advantage. Like you were saying earlier, boots or silvers would have been pretty great.
No
catfish to be
catfish?
here. Wow, no catfish, really?
All right, sure. Why not? You know, might as well. Is he gonna go straight to the pyramid? Straight to the pyramid for one item. Interesting.
Okay.
You're an hour and 5 minutes in. You're kind of running out of options that are convenient to route, so gotta start cutting corners at this point. And catfish is a pretty slow check.
It feels really random, the things that are being skipped and hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, it's going to work out, so. Alright, well, Doomtap about to get his hammer. Now the question is he going to continue? He'll probably go ahead and continue clearing out Pod. I can't really see him just, like, straight up bail.
Yeah, at least the
Swamp or Ice.
Back where most of the items tend to land. That's definitely a worthwhile thing to do that, but there's no way to beat the boss or anything.
Alright, Weighty about to pick up his 6th crystal, and he's got a major decision to make right now. Quake, for those that are just showing up, Quake is in the first item chest of Pendant Swamp Palace, while Bombos is in the Dark Cross of Hyrule Castle. Each of these players, and Hammer is on the bridge here in Pod, so Doomtap's going to be finding that relatively soon. He just has to do bow side. It does look like Weighty is going to go ahead and do Spike Cave, which makes sense. This would be the best time to do it. It's either you do it now or you never do it.
Wait, he's gonna surprise us all when it's actually only 6 crystals to get to GT. Oh,
Love that little turnaround.
yeah, that was great.
Putting that mirror shield to work. I mean, the funny thing is, at the end of all this, it could still come down to something on the torch, like Big Key and Torch and GT. So we're not technically out of the woods yet, but, you know, the chances of that are relatively slim.
Willard. You're giving chat what they want.
I gotta throw that out there. I gotta remind people.
Possibilities are endless.
Nobody is in go mode yet. All right, Weighty. I could see him go for Pyramid Fairy now because he just unlocked it, but I could also see him not go for it because at the same time, Pyramid Fairy to me just seems like a low possibility check. Like it just doesn't seem to have items very often.
Really?
And it's not gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not gonna. Well, it's true.
It's not gonna. I mean, unless it has boots or
Boots
vanilla silvers, it's possible. All right, is he gonna go north or is he gonna go south?
He's
North
not
or
going to
south?
swamp. There's no way he's going to swamp right here.
Okay. Now, it still comes down to whether or not he mirrors to check the front of escape. If he does, he will be our first player in go mode. Doomtap is a couple key doors away from getting his hammer, and then he'll have the decision of, do I continue in here, or do I bail to go to a different pendant dungeon? Or, you know, do I go back and check the big chest in Thieves Town?
I was going to say, that's a really behind play right there, is going back to Thieves Town immediately.
Is he going to mirror and check the one chest in Eastern? No. That chest is dead. Maybe I'm just wrong, and it's been the map or compass the entire game, and you've just been making up stuff this entire time.
I'm almost positive there's something actually in there. Definitely, probably.
I don't know. All right. This is a big moment. There's nothing in here that's going to take WeightyWords away. I mean, unless he finds the boots in here. He's like, okay, well, now I'll go ahead and skip front of escape to go check boots stuff or something.
Swap to that mirror, Weighty.
Come on. Do it. Hey, look. Nothing.
Doomtap also
catfish.
paused there to make the decision. What was it?
He's switching to mirror. Okay, this is good. Don't flute away. If he flutes away, then that's concerning. All right. If you're a WeightyWords fan, you're pretty happy right now because he's going to be our first player in go mode.
What? Doomtap first? Oh my gosh.
I mean, it makes sense because you don't want to do Dark Cross and have it be a small key, but at the same time,
I would do Dark Cross.
He has the mirror, so it's very fast.
Yeah, if I did the Dark Cross, I would hope to do it to find the map, so I wouldn't have to go do Zelda Cell. That would be my line of thinking. I don't know. It's probably fine either way.
Yeah. I feel like you can make an argument for both. I don't think there was an item on Helma. But I'm not so sure.
I'm excited, dude. I want to see what happens here after pod.
Yeah, I am too. It's a tough decision, man. Like, Ice Palace, they both feel bad. Pendant Swamp versus Pendant Ice, they feel terrible.
Oh yeah. Ice has the quicker items, I feel. Like, well, no, I guess only the first chest is quick. But I maybe just the reluctance of left side swamp, which I don't feel like should be a factor at this time anyway, because you can just head to the back first. I don't know. Doomtap is gone, as expected.
Okay, well, the other thing is WeightyWords is going to get the map here and realize that there is an item in the Dark Cross, so he's not going to be missing out on his bombos, but he is going to be our first player in Go mode, and this is an Ice Palace play from Doomtap, which is going to seal it right here, unless the boots thing happens, and boots are in here or something. The boots thing. So, you know, there's one thing that you can potentially attribute this outcome to WeightyWords, or I guess Doomtap's routing of the West Dark World because of the way he routed down to Hype Cave. He didn't have flippers yet. So WeightyWords had that opportunity to make that swamp dive prior to getting the hammer.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just curious if
You could
Doomtap
say
would have,
that.
done that at all. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind that might have actually happened.
I mean, here's the thing: is if WeightyWords had gone to pod before going to swamp, I could see him going for the same play afterwards, maybe. But yeah, pretty hard to say. So, and WeightyWords is going to be able to save a little bit of time. I actually don't recall where the big key was in here because I kind of clocked out while they were going through these dungeons because
it was above the big chest.
It's above the big chest?
Okay. By the big chest, yeah.
Gotcha.
East side.
And honestly, for Doomtap, it was just a coin flip. It really was. Both of these plays would have been right. Could have been right. Just so happens that he chose the wrong one. So, and I mean, because like Green Pen and Ice Palace, I feel like we've seen it have required items very often. You don't want to go to Pendant Swamp because I feel like it's a longer dungeon, especially if you do left side swamp, especially without boots. So it's a tough call. It's a real tough call. I mean, I guess the argument is 4 items if you include the green pendant versus 6, but like left side swamp is so slow.
It's really slow. That's why I would still go to the back and do Arcus first for sure.
Yeah.
And then begrudgingly go back in. The heavy sigh. Go do left side.
And then find the big key and you're like, oh, come on. And so you have to walk all the way back.
This far in, might as well keep going.
It's also unfortunate for Doomtap not getting a small key in the first chest. Ooh, I love that.
That
A little
really
spin,
nice.
Get down the stairs.
I've got no idea how that works, but it always looks fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think, do you always take like spike damage after doing that as well? I know that's pretty common, but I didn't know if it was an always thing.
What?
After doing the spin down the stairs thing there. I feel
Spike
like
damage?
Yeah, like you just take spike. I know there's like no spikes immediately there, but I feel like...
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You can take damage, not always. Interesting.
Yeah, you just get hit by spikes for some reason there.
Weird.
Oh, good. Okay, people are saying in chat that is a possibility. Got it.
Good to know. My friend Mikon is not crazy.
I'm not entirely crazy. Some things I know. Thanks for keeping me on the up and up, Willard.
I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here watching.
You're supporting my deficiencies in commentating by, helping me out. You're filling in all the gaps I'm leaving.
I'm giving you a hearty thumbs up right now.
Thanks, buddy.
Very hearty. Alright, well, I mean, at this point, the only thing that's going to save Doomtap is if he finds boots in here and the big key and GT is on the torch. That is it. It's the only get-out-of-jail-free card he could possibly find. He's going to have to go to Swamp Palace and get that Quake Medallion out of the first item chest, but second chest overall. Well, WeightyWords about to get his big key, and we'll be heading on to the Vitreous fight.
I don't know, we've had some pretty crazy things happen this race. It wouldn't surprise me if we just had the boots there, right? And it ends up being a left-right gamble. Where the boots are... No, I think Ice Palace play is just way too costly in time. There's really difficult.
I don't know if that was... I think that was just the second item? Might have been the third. I'm not sure. I know we got bombs in a heart container so far. Let's see, does he take spike damage? No!
No. I guess that means you did it right.
You nailed it. There's the bug net. Not quite what you're looking for. So he's going to go ahead and finish this and get that green pendant and turn that in. And then, yeah, it's going to come down to, the swamp dive versus, 2 overworld checks, spike cave, hammer pegs, and then the 2 isolated dungeon checks, Eastern or Thieves Town. Nice spooky action over on WeightyWords' side. And now he's an ice cream sundae.
There are worse things to be.
looks so silly.
It almost looks like a weird clown Goomba.
I need a Krusty the Clown sprite now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, did okay there with the spinning on the thing, the NMG strap.
Yeah, no zero cycles,
Was
but still pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick cleanup.
Yeah, good fights from both our players, but it's kind of... That's the thing is, like, when we're at this stage in the tournament, there's not really much to, like... We're more likely to talk about their fights when they mess up versus... Because we just expect them to do well. So there's nothing really to, like, talk about in that regards. Ooh, he is going for the green pendant. It's a green pendant.
No. Oh, right, green pendant.
I got excited and I was like, oh, no, wait, hold on, shut up. It's nobody's going back to Eastern. It's not happening, but yeah, at this point, guys, WeightyWords has his 7 crystals and he's going to be heading into Ganon's Tower. Mikon, you want to tell us all about Ganon's Tower?
Oh,
in a cool kind of like fun way?
Of course you asked me to do this. So, God.
Do you want me to do it? Because you seem to be struggling.
I hate memes so much, dude. Okay.
All right, guys. Mikon's being a party pooper.
No, I don't want. I don't want to be a pooper. There's a lot of items in GT.
How many?
There's a lot, dude. It's more than any other place in the game.
You could. It's just like a band. You just pull it off. Just pull off the bandy real quick. You just get it over with, and then we could be going back talking about Doomtap going to Bombo's tablet.
A lot of people in chat like to guess where they think the big key's gonna be. It's really is quite a mystery. But with any luck, WeightyWords will find it early on. At least he hopes so. Chat often does not share the same sentiment, I think.
I mean, whether you're a fan of WeightyWords or not, you want to see that tile room at this point. Especially with this huge of a lead. Because, I mean, Doomtap still has to go do all of T-Rock, too, so...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. People don't want to see tile room. They want to see that torch. See what's on that torch. Alright, well...
At least if it is on the torch, there's a pretty high chance that the boots are, actually going to be in here.
Dude, imagine if you will indulge me in this world of imagination that the boots are deeper in swamp. Could you?
In Eastern Palace.
Would you? Or, dude, I wish. If they were the one chest in Eastern, I would be...
Well, we're going to find out really quick.
Having me a laugh. Alright, moment of truth. Is it on the torch? It is not. So WeightyWords is officially in go mode. We can all breathe a sigh of relief that this great, fantastic race will be over shortly. In like 10 minutes, maybe.
I hope.
Alright, Mikon, that's spot number 1. Coming up, we have 2...
I've already lost count, dude. I know we've only checked a single location, but I am that invested in this.
You have 2 small keys already. You know tile room's gonna have something. Could even be a small key.
We're getting the crazy route here.
Alright, hour 20 minutes. For us, at least. Doomtap is in go mode, grabbing that Quake Medallion out of Pendant Swamp. He'll be heading up to Turtle Rock. But at this point, it's far too late. He still has to do that entire very, very slow dungeon. Even if he gets to go mode that's not going to be enough. WeightyWords has a commanding lead. Even if it ends up being tile rude tile room.
Which would be rude, yeah.
Pretty rude. It's going to take a miracle for Doomtap to take this game 1. But have no fear, for this is a best of 3, which means that there will be more than one game.
Oh yeah, have they already scheduled a game 2 yet?
What do you think I am, the schedule?
The answer is no. No, they have not. I went and checked.
Oh, there it is.
Not so
in
bad.
The compass room. I'm gonna go ahead and check these last 2 in case there's boots or silvers or something. And WeightyWords gonna be heading up the gauntlet. Mikon, what chest was that, Mikon?
Whoa, that was the second one in the compass room.
Very good.
Did anyone guess that?
I don't even know how to do the... Does somebody else want to... Yeah. I only know how to start and stop the thing. I don't know how to actually, like, give people points. Oh, okay. I got it. Thanks, chat.
It's dollar sign.
Sure.
I got this.
Invalid argument. All right, well. Was that for what I said or what you said?
I think I
know.
nailed it, actually. It probably took mine and gave the error for yours.
No space. All right. This is very exciting commentary, I know. Nothing happened. All right. Anyway, let's talk about this race. So you know,
We're going here, dude. That's fine. We had plenty of
tempered
time.
sword, half magic.
It's fairly low health, though I think we do have a blue potion in case things
We
actually
do
get
have a
catastrophic.
blue potion. Things will get catastrophic as WeightyWords continues to get knocked around by these monsters in the gauntlet. Yeah.
Oh, watch out for those.
This was a very exciting. This was a very, very exciting race one. I really enjoyed this one. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought Hyrule Castle would still have progression
So
after
good.
all of that?
Nailed it, dude. We got it. Yo,
course,
really
the-
awesome Lamelo too.
The first time I try and do the thing, it breaks. Oh well. Well, don't blame me. I didn't do nothing. Anyway. Yeah, this was really exciting. I can't wait to see how Game 2 goes for these two. I'll be curious to see what Doomtap decides to pick. Honestly, you know, it's going to be something. It's probably just going to be standard, so that the Hyrule Castle. Well, no, he was the one that would Hyrule Castle first, so who knows?
I like standard. I know, like, it gets repetitive and all, but you know, knocking out those locations for free is not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a benefit to me. I never have to decide to go do that.
I mean, the only downside about... Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it, too, because, like, if you do standard, you're going to get the randomized starting weapon, which could be, you know, a convenient progression item, like Cane of Samaria, or bow, or even hammer. Or it could be, you know, Burna or bombs. So
I love Burna start. I think it's
Burna?
really fun.
It's pretty silly, not going to lie.
It's not so hot for, like, farming for bombs if you need to, but it's pretty funny.
Alright, well, WeightyWords about to hit up Moldrum 2. Finding the silvers right before. I mean, if there's any chest you're going to check up the gauntlet, that's a good one because I usually like to go through the middle section there. So he's going to make this cannon fight even easier now. Moldrum having other words for him.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing over there. Ooh.
Wow,
Okay,
interesting
good. Nice
use
dodge
of the
hook shot.
iframe, the invisibility frames from the hook shot to get that spin in.
That's
Now just
one
give us
point
boots and we'll be good to go.
Aw, dang. That's 1 point for making sure to swap to your item early on. So you can use switch off for funny situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people in NMG will use pausing to, like, buffer precise movements. Like doing the spin speed out of desert or something like that.
Yeah. You see a lot of
Make sure they
This
don't
is, like,
hop off the ledge there.
using the menu to switch to an item just so you don't like fall down the hole. There's also the one when you're like leaving Death Mountain and you switch to the bow while going down that one room with like that one cave that
Yeah,
had,
so you don't
triple
bonk
there,
off.
nice.
Ooh, nice.
And fall into the hole.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, could have
good
been
set
the
up for a
dream,
double.
dude.
The
Could've been
dream
the
double
dream.
triple. Yeah, that'll work.
Bad though. That was really nice.
3 cycle will do just fine.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
unfortunately
does
for
come down here. I think wasn't the small key in like the last chest.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. So despite skipping like assuming you skip lava chest, you might have skipped the big chest too, maybe. You still ended up having to pretty much full clear all of T-Rock and
But down
Man.
into Ganon, WeightyWords goes here. Gonna be showing the pig. What is up? has the tempered sword and silver arrows. Not going to be too bad of a fight at all. Gets a nice 1-1 there. Should be 12 hits for each phase.
Whoops.
Ooh.
Oh, he might actually. Oh, he did it twice.
Oh, no, twice, dude.
And then wow, that whip there too. So he's
That
not
was
gonna
a
get the
weird
1-1
whiff,
then.
yeah. So the goal, of course, is to get the 12 slashes in, and hook shot just to have iframes. He did not actually want to hit that torch there to get knocked away, because Force couldn't get the last hits in. But gets an okay cleanup.
Imagine not getting 1-1 with tempered sword in top 8. That's kind of embarrassing, you know.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to give him some words because I'm a execution master at this game. So
Give him
I'm
those
a
words.
Come on, Mikan. Really? You
Sorry,
dunk on the
Wired.
big you dunk on the GT big key guessing game, but you throw one of those out there. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh my gosh.
A little early on that fire rush shot.
Just barely misses that, yeah.
I'm gonna get a double here. And before Doomtap even gets a chance, well, if the frames will allow him to get into GT, WeightyWords is going to take down Ganon and is going to be the winner of Game 1 in this best of 3 matched. GG's in chat. There, I got it out. Mikan, what's that finish time? You got that
It
IRC
is.
up?
Hell no. It was about 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 0.3 seconds. With about 39 of those other seconds.
It's good enough. Wow. What a really cool Game 1. Really came down. I mean, I feel like it really came down to some interesting routing. Came down to having to make that stupid play looking for hammer. Hammer and pod just always feels bad. Late hammer just always feels really bad. But honestly, I have to give it to WeightyWords for some really just straight up efficient routing throughout the seed.
Yeah, the times are going to be kind of, a little further apart than most people would, guess from a close race. Like, they wouldn't consider this a close race because the times are far apart. But, I mean, there were a lot of really different and important decisions that went into the seeds here. It was really nice. Just until, the crucial moment where it kind of fell apart. But leading up to that was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if Doomtap had made the play in a swamp, I feel like WeightyWords still would have had quite the advantage, but it would have been a lot closer. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get WeightyWords in here. Hey, gamer, GG's on your win.
Thanks for the GG's. Appreciate it.
No problem. I would assume you've been watching the last 20 minutes.
I heard you dunk on my Ganon, and you have every right to. I don't think I've done that in such a long time. Just missed my hook shot. It was something.
It was just funny because he did it twice, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Even
really
better.
wanted to hug that torch.
Yeah.
So, walk us through it. What was you made some pretty crucial plays later on. Going for the pod play, the swamp dive. Your routing in the Dark World just really kind of worked out for you in the end, especially late game with the T-Rock into Pyramid Fairy. How are you feeling as you were going through all that?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I got bailed out by that swamp dive. But I was happy to get those flippers. I was worried about something being in swamp or ice, of course, because you got flippers and those are both pendants. So I definitely was really shocked to find that Quake being there. So I felt really good about that. But once you get mid Dark World seeds, you know that the hammer is going to be in a bad place. So I was not shocked at all to find that hammer and pod, because it usually ends up being there or somewhere like there or Mire usually most of the time. So
Yeah.
and
It's a
I
tough
also
call to make.
yeah, I also I was shocked to find that Bombos too. I was expecting it to be like a Pyramid Fairy thing, and it's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. But then I found it in the back of a Dark Cross, and I was like, oh, I could have had this for a while, but I guess that was fine because Mire didn't have any. So I'm glad I checked that before going back into Swamp. I was probably gonna go back into Swamp. I didn't really think about whether I wanted to do Swamp or Ice, because I hadn't reached that point yet. But I probably would have gone back to Swamp, but I'm just glad I found it before doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good thing that T-Rock ended up being the other Pyramid Fairy Crystal, because it kind of allowed you to go back and do Escape, because I don't know when you would have gone back to Escape at that point.
Yeah, that's very
Is the
true.
thing.
The Pyramid Fairy was the reason why I could loop and escape with that.
So that ended up working out very well, yeah. I gotta ask though, because you guys both did it. Was there an item in the big chest or the big key chest in Eastern Palace?
Yes, there
'Cause
was.
you both skipped it, and we're like,
I can't
What?
believe this.
I'm still mad about that. Who makes those? How did you both make that play? That just
I
Isn't
just
it meta?
I think it is kind of like that because I've seen more and more people skip that when it's a 50-50 just because it does take a long time to go there, and at that point I had like all of like Death Mountain and Hera, and I was just assuming it was like an Aga Seed at that point. I didn't actually expect to get the mitts, so
Were you ever planning on going back there if you had to?
No,
Because you didn't even do it
absolutely
after
not.
pod. Okay.
yeah, absolutely not. I was never gonna go back. It's kind of like it's kind of like Hera Basement to me, but I actually did Hera Basement. I don't know why I did Hera Basement. But it's
Over-
just one of those checks that I feel like I'm skipping more because I'm seeing more people skip it nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
was a
Doomtap-
guaranteed item, unlike Eastern at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
Yeah, we saw a lot more skipping over on Doomtap's side throughout this. We'll have to ask him when he gets in here about it, but like he kind of routed his Dark World very bizarrely. Just the Village of Outcast down to Hype Cave, then back up, and because of the way he did it, like he didn't really have this opportunity to dive into Swamp like you did.
Oh, because he didn't get flippers when he went down to Hype Cave.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
The way he ended up going, after finishing Meyer, he ended up going the north route of Hyrule, still skipping Catfish, and did Pyramid, then went to Pod to get Hammer.
Gotcha.
So, but that was just an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of like getting that losing that portal, checking Magic Bat early without the hammer, but like if you have flute, it's like really simple.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, flute and
I
mitts.
end up just doing it.
Yeah, having flute and mitts to get back to that portal anytime
Yup.
is really nice. Ooh, you barely have enough magic there. Almost missed out on getting that.
I feel like I've had so many seeds this tourney with hammer in just awful locations, including Pod, including Meyer, including that Pyramid Fairy, and I even had a seed with hammer in first chest swamp. So that's kind of also why I decided to check that, because I didn't want to get screwed over by that again. So
Well, you actually had a Hammer and Swamp Seed in this tourney?
I did
Wow.
against Firemi. That was a fun one.
Nice. Yeah, honestly, like, I think for me that's one of the worst things. It's either the three worst things you can have in Seed is an Ice Rod Hunt for Go Mode, Boots for Go Mode, and then Late Hammer or Mitts for Dark World is up there. I'm just not a fan of it at all.
Yeah.
Did you ever at any point consider, before finding Mitts, did you consider maybe Aga as an option?
I definitely was thinking about it. But like, I was even considering skipping like doing Death Mountain, doing Hera, and then skipping like Eastern, because I had the mirror and the bow. But, like I could do Aga, go into Pod, and then mirror and do Eastern. It wouldn't have been kind of efficient to do that. But like, I found the bow, so when I found the bow, I was like, what if it isn't an Aga Seed? I always I feel like it baits you so much more than it doesn't with Aga Seeds. At least in my experience. So it's a tournament race. I don't want to go too crazy, so I just ended up full clearing, and it worked out.
Yeah, I feel like overall you played relatively safe. The only thing that you did that was questionable was the Eastern skip.
Well, the Eastern, yeah.
Apparently that's cool now these days, so I guess that wasn't too risky.
You should try
it. Just want to point out Doomtap, unfortunately missing the silvers in the Pre-Modern 2 chest, but picks up a little bit of time with a slightly, still 3-cycle, but still slightly faster Aga 2. Didn't get hit by that blue ball like you did. And he's probably going to get the 1-1.
Yep, probably. He does have a better NMG time than me.
Yeah, overall, I it was a fun race. You guys performed really, really well. No errors. I didn't see any sort of goofs, except for Doomtap kind of danced around the purple chest and Magic Bat a little bit, but
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, this is a very good game 1, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in game 2. Curious to see what Doomtap's gonna pick.
Yeah, he's actually selected a map compass shuffle, so
Interesting.
Ooh.
yeah, and we're gonna probably do it tomorrow sometime.
Nice.
So look out for that.
Good old mix shuffle.
Delicious mix shuffle.
Dude, I could go for a mix shuffle bout now, I'm not gonna lie.
Same. What are your thoughts on mix shuffle as an option?
I mean, I like it, but I don't know. I haven't played enough to like, really actually get an opinion on it. It's just like, dungeons are more important, yeah, but like the one MC shuffle that I've done, it like nothing. There was nothing in dungeons, so I don't know. Well, it just seems pretty like I like Key Sanity. It's a pretty not famous or not popular opinion, but so I'm looking forward to doing it.
Doomtap had an awesome Silverless Ganon fight right now.
Dude, that was insane. That was really, really good. And Doomtap finishes with a time of 1:37:38. Be looking forward to see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing game 2, of course. This was a really cool seed. Really cool one. Had a lot of fun watching this one. I'll see if Doomtap wants to come in for a chit chat. While we wait, I guess we can see what's on the schedule. I have a feeling that there's going to be more stuff. Oh yeah, there's a Zelda Sun and Ninban going on Speed Gaming 2. I think that's either started already or about to start. So more tournament action going over on Speed Gaming 2. I don't see Doomtap. Yeah, Mikon, had a good time commentating with you, bud. Thanks for stepping in.
I had fun, Willard, especially the part where we were looking for keys. That was a lot of fun to me.
Was it?
It was a lot of something.
You don't sound very sincere, my friend.
I'm sorry. Sorry I let you down like that.
It's all right.
But no, I had a good time. Thank you for commentating with me, and I hope everyone had a good time watching.
Yeah. A0, thank you so much for tracking this one. And of course, everybody for watching. Given the fact that Doomtap has not stepped in yet, I don't think he's going to come in for... let me just ask him real quick. But yeah, Speed Gaming 2. Go watch some more tourney action. I think we're going to be done here right now. Okay, looks like Doomtap is going to opt to skip out on the interview due to bad internet. That's fair enough. But yeah. Thank you guys again for watching.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I've been Willard J. Bradley. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.